Anime. What do you think when you hear the word anime? You might say cartoons. Well, you have insulted anime fans. You see, anime is culture, art, a lifestyle, a colorful community, animation for everyone and any age group. If you asked me this question any previous year of my life, I would tell you all of what I mentioned. But if you ask me this question today, the first thing that comes to mind is the word weeb. I can't stand this community. 99% of animes are pure garbage, a waste of time, wimp entertainment, and I am not proud of it. I have become 16-year-old me's worst enemy. I am that man today. I couldn't get it when they told me that anime is a waste of time. Every time someone said that to me, I would think, "Bitch, I'm about to slap the shit out of you." Now, of course, I'm overreacting, just to make sure that you're tuned into this video. But the main idea is true. I do not enjoy anime like I used to. And I will explain to you my journey and see if you agree or not. Please comment your opinions. I know most of you are going to be pissed off, and I'm here for it. Alrighty then. Picture this if you will. This is my story with anime. Part 1. Love at First Sight. I was in the 3rd grade. Coming home from school around 3:30, mother would have us behave as she needed to go back to work. She would open the TV and put on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, 5 days a week. Me and my brother would watch SpongeBob and then change to Cartoon Network, where for 1 hour the channel's name changed to Tsunami, and our favorite show would come on, and you guessed it, Dragon Ball Z. And we were obsessed. Will Cell kill Goku? Will Gohan make his father proud and defeat Cell? Is Majin Buu in fact a bubblegum? And how did he lose all that weight? Stay tuned on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. We did not know it was anime at the time. It was just our favorite cartoon. We would think about the show all day. For 2 years, that is. And then I stopped watching. Just a short hiatus. But yes, I switched to the likes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Friends. In other words, I was more interested in sitcoms, though I did not know what they were talking about. The reason I stopped watching at that particular time was because I also started watching other animes as well. Detective Conan, or what you might know as Case Closed, Captain Tsubasa, Street Fighter, and many more. But the channel that aired these shows aired only 10 episodes of every show a year, and they would air them over and over and over again. It was too much. They would show the trailer for the next episode of Case Closed, let's say. They would air it, and then they would air the previous episode for a month straight. The same thing would happen the next month, again and again. And just like Ross Geller, I too needed a break. Part 2. The Return. High school. The place where we all want to be noticed, make a name for ourselves, to stand out and be the cool kid. Or for others, just find a group to belong with. And you bet your ass I wanted to be the coolest kid in school. And what was cool at the time was Prison Break, Lost, and anime. One specific anime was the bomb, and everyone was talking about it. Death Note. I got my hands on it and gave it a go. And my god, I was obsessed. The story, the suspense, the cleverness of the writing, the characters, the art, the atmosphere, the surprises, the idea. This was truly the greatest thing I had ever watched at the time, and all I ever talked about for the whole year, which caused the snowball effect. When I got in a conversation about the show, they would always recommend other shows similar, and I was all in for it. Next up was Code Geass. It was okay, nothing compared to Death Note in my opinion, but god damn, Karen was fire. One thing leads to another, and I'm getting hooked to Naruto and many other shows. I felt alive. I had something that I enjoyed, and like many others, I was interested in the culture and wanted nothing more than to learn Japanese. We did have a Japanese institute in the university, and my plan was to take classes and become a legend in the Japanese language, which we will talk about next. Part 3. University Peak and Eventual Downfall. In high school, when you watch anything, not just anime that is, everybody says, it's great, it's a good show, it's bad, I don't like it, and that was about it. You move on with your life. But then enter the realm of university, where everything you say goes to account, and everyone is entitled and offended if you disagree. I met a friend who happened to be the #1 supplier of anime in town. We're talking the highest quality of 2 gigabytes an episode, and so he gave me and I consumed, binge watching one anime after another. We're talking the likes of Fairy Tail, Bleach, Hellsing, Devil May Cry, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, Berserk, Ping Pong Club, Golden Boy, and so on. And by the way, the last 2 I mentioned, one of the best. Until one day a guy comes along and suggests for me to watch an anime that will ruin it all for me. And he was boasting about it, flexing about how it's the greatest thing he had ever seen. And so I gave it a go. That anime was Steins Gate. A show where every episode the main character, a dumbass scientist that time travels to, I don't know, save his lover's life or some crap. He time travels every single episode and fails until he doesn't in the final episode, I think. So basically the whole show is a frickin' filler until it's not, and to top it off there was a girl that goes doo-doo-doo every 5 seconds and got on my nerves. Oh my god, the blood pressure's boiling thinking about it.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
It took everything for me to finish this garbage, and when I did, I was a changed man. I was grumpy, pissed off, and I hated everything I ever watched, because all I could think about whenever I watched something is that this better not be a waste of time. And unfortunately, when it came to anime especially, everything I did watch felt like a waste of time. I started getting bored of the friendship can beat anyone scenarios, or every time a character is about to die, they take us back to memory lane for 5 episodes. But I kept on watching. I did not give up. That is, until I went to the Japanese club. Part 4. The Japanese Club. This is it. This will restore my faith in anime. Me and 2 friends were invited to an anime watch-along party, and I was excited, I must say. And this happened to be at the Japanese club in the university that I told you about. My god, the scenes were incredible. We had old-ass men practically fist-fighting and arguing about if Lelouch is a better character than Kira, while others got in a political debate whether Kira is better than L, and if mangas were better than anime. And so much more crap was going on that I did not understand. Everyone was taking the piss at each other, and I still remember to this day, a dude got up and gave us a monologue to the show that we were about to watch. I have never seen someone so passionate about this show. We're talking a 45-year-old man explaining how the show changed his life, and that how we could all learn from the show. And then I was thinking, wow, this man, 45 years old enough to be a professor in my university, a wise man. And then the show comes on. The show's name was You Never Thought There Was a Girl Online.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
It was too much. I thought to myself, this is it. Never again. And then they started to fight again because the quality of the show wasn't Blu-ray rip source material. Half the guys there had blue hair, the other half had pink. Old-ass men with long beards, wearing dresses, talking like 14-year-old girls. You tell them, hey, how's it going? And they respond with, I went home that day, and I didn't watch a single anime for 2 years. Part 5. The Second Return. It was my final year at the university. I was a grown man. My interests in the media were different. How could I go back to watching anime after enjoying the likes of Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad? But then the word on the street was that there was an anime that was the bomb, yo. And so I decided, you know what, why not? One last dance. And that show was Attack on Titan. And oh my, it was a breath of fresh air. Action, suspense, nice characters, characters actually dying immediately with no flashbacks. It was amazing and I recommended it to many people. The spark was lit again, and I wanted to watch more and more anime. And so I watched a couple. Parasite, which was half decent, and another famous anime called Tokyo Ghoul, which was a very good show. But unfortunately, anime was too much for me. I couldn't fully enjoy it because of my grumpy, unsatisfied subconscious. And so for the years to come, I only watched Attack on Titan when it dropped. And by the third season, I had enough. The flashbacks in the middle of the action sequences started increasing. The power of friendship was prevailing once more, and I could not take it anymore. To this day, I have yet to finish the show. Part 6. Don't call it a comeback. 20 years later, when the journey all began, the year was 2022. I just got into playing Teamfight Tactics, but like many, I don't listen to the game. I would always put on music or watch a video on YouTube on the side. One thing leads to another, and I get into lo-fi music, and there was a character that was always on the thumbnail, Spike Spiegel. And so one day I decided to research who dat, and it was a character from the show Cowboy Bebop, and according to critics, it's one of the best shows ever. And so I decided that I was going to watch it. One episode every night with dinner for the next month. And it was amazing. The English dub was sensational. The feeling of the show, the atmosphere. For the first time I enjoyed the characters. And the artwork, my god, the artwork. It was vintage, probably because it came out in 1998, but nevertheless, it was nostalgic. Like I mentioned, the story was top-notch. The episodes were fun and interesting throughout, minimum flashbacks, and a one-of-a-kind jazz score. And I thought it was incredible how so many lo-fi hits are related to this show. If you listen to lo-fi music, a lot of them have quotes from characters of the show. This was it, the pinnacle of my anime experience, and I did not want to ruin it. One of the best shows I have ever watched in general, but this time, it did not light a spark to go back to anime. This was it, this was all meant to be. I had saved the best anime for last. This is the point of no return. I will end this anime chapter with a good note. And when I think of anime, I will now on think of this show. So that was it. That is why I stopped watching anime.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Anyways, sorry for triggering you, and thanks for watching. Subscribe and comment if you think that I should go back to watching anime, that is. I'll see you in the next one.